Now, it's not necessary to have voice input and reply, but I really wanted to experiment what kind of voice text to speech and speech to text I could get into this demo without paying anything at all. And I settled on a tool called DeepGram to help us with the speech to text. So what does it do? The voice makes Dreamforce Brain usable without a keyboard. This can be helpful for accessibility users that doesn't maybe have a hand if they were injured and need to speak. So this chapter covers how speech to text, AI reply playback, and hands-free mode can work, and the design decisions behind them. So let's go through the cards together, how they work. So the deep grammar speech to text implementation helps us by taking and converting your spoken words into text. It uses a professional real-time transcription application program interface, which is more reliable than browser-native web speech API, which proved too inconsistent across different browsers that I tested. So I settled on DeepGram. Again, for professional use, you probably want to look at something like 11 Labs. The TTS, text-to-speech implementation. After Athena generates a text response, the DeepGram TTS converts it to audio and plays it back. The text remains visible also. The audio is just an enhancement, not a replacement. This respects users in noisy environments or without speakers. In the hands-free loop, after Athena speaks a reply, the mic starts listening again automatically. You can have a full conversation without touching the keyboard. Listen, speak, listen, and repeat. It only works when DeepGram is the active capture path, though. The operating system dictation that we all know, if DeepGram fails, the browser permission issue or network problem that you might encounter for incompatible browsers, then the app will guide users to their own operating system dictation tool. For example, in Windows, we use Win+H. And on Mac, we use function. I believe that's correct. I don't have a Mac in front of me. This means the voice input never fully breaks. So this is an optional feature where the administrator can decide who controls the mode of voice, whether dictation is on or off, whether we use DeepGram, whether we use 11 Labs or no voice. And imagine you see an admin panel where this can be enabled or disabled by the administrator. You'll see in the source code how that was done on a simple example. Some troubleshooting tips, issues that you may run into. The microphone permission might be denied. So you need to make sure that you check that and that the setup for that is working. And your AI agent can help you troubleshoot that. Just paste the error and tell him what it needs to do or what error you're experiencing. The audio autoplay can be blocked. So browsers tend to block audio from auto playing until the user has interacted with that page, a click or a tap. You'll often see allow mic pop-up that appears. So if a TTS reply doesn't auto play, click anywhere on the page first. The text reply is always visible regardless. Why was browser native speech removed in our example? Well, like I said, the web speech API varied wildly between Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and Edge browsers that I tested and can break silently in different ways. Professional grade transcription API like DeepGram or 11 Labs will give consistent results across all browsers. The simplicity trade-off is worth it. So don't rely on having to deal with your end users having different browsers and now your app don't work. Use a professional method. So when you're adding voices to a web app, always have your fallback path. Browser APIs are unstable. That's the most important thing to learn here. DeepGram or any real transcription API plus your OS dictation guidance is much more reliable architecture than relying on WebKit speech recognition alone.